Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy and we're gonna get straight into our explosive penny stock watch list. So the first stock we're looking at here is Humbl on the daily time frame, up 13.64%. Very nice bounce back day today. And a beautiful thing that we had today is we did hold our level of support here. You guys know, after we break this level of support, things aren't going to look good here for Humbl, but because we held and we actually had a very solid day today, that was actually very nice price action overall today in Humbl. And so again, ultimately, we would love to see Humbl on this uptrend right here. And so if we look at our MACD here, our MACD could potentially be starting to curl over. So we have nothing yet letting us know that we are in a reversal, but our signal line is starting to get closer here with our MACD. And so I'd love to see a couple more green days, try to push this up here. And so overall here on Humbl, we have been on an extraordinary run the last 2 years for Humbl, and so we are getting a cool off right now. And so I just want people to remember that bought up here, Humbl is up thousands of percent overall in the last couple of years. In general, we did expect to see a cool off, and so that is what we're seeing here. But as long as we are holding this level of support, we are actually still very strong here overall on Humbl. Next stock of the day, we're looking at IGEN on the daily time frame. So IGEN was down 5% today, and I did end up buying some more shares here at the end of the market session. And so overall, I can't get enough of IGEN. One thing I want to mention is that market makers love this stock, and when I say they love this stock is very easy to manipulate for them because of the lack of volume. So because there aren't that many eyes on IGEN in general, it is a field day for these market makers to try to manipulate the price. At this point, my job as an IGEN investor is try to bring as much awareness to this stock because this is a very underrated play right now that people don't have their eye on. I honestly cannot find too much wrong with this stock. Their share structure is extremely appealing as a very small float for a penny stock. And so even if this company does dilute, they already have such a small amount of outstanding shares. The dilution shouldn't have that much of an impact. The only problem is the PR team that they have is not putting out any sort of information to get people to snag up these cheap shares. So market manipulators continue to bring the share price down, and they keep buying on the dip, and then they keep selling on the rip, and then they keep bringing the price right back down. And so this is pretty much the most simplified way I can show IGEN chart here. We want the price action above this line right here. You can see we got rejected here today when we came back up, so that's 4 rejections right now at this level right here. So we really need to break this if we want to get back up above and onto our uptrend. However, if we continue to bleed, I think we will test lows again here of 0075. And so again, I will be there to snag up those shares as well. But I don't think this stock can be pinned for too much longer. Right now is just a waiting game for this deposition and this trial to come to fruition. And then after that, we should start to see IGEN rolling and booming on all cylinders. Until then, I will continue to load up and in anticipation of that move. Next stock of the day, we're looking at WDLF on the daily time frame. So WDLF was only up 8% today, and this stock has been all over the place the last couple of weeks. It's been going down, this has been going up. Extremely volatile stock, which is kind of a good thing. A lot of people are watching this stock, and so overall, what I want to see right now with WDLF is again to get back above this uptrend line, but we still have this pennant right here where we could see some price action as low as this 006. And so if we get back to this point right here, this will be a level of support that is going to be a very nice buying opportunity in WDLF. So right now I am patient right now because we are below this point right now. There is no real steady sense of direction, and so once we start to find a bottom on this stock on a level of support, I will be adding a lot more to my position to average down. But overall right now we are below our uptrend, so the price action could see some more downside movement. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SEGI on the daily time frame. So we were down 12%, but nothing really surprising here. Like I've said, I expect SEGI to trade in this little wedge here for the remainder of this pattern, which ends June 22nd. And so that is kind of what we are still doing. We broke right back down here, and we should expect to find support here on this level right here. So I do expect SEGI to have a couple more red days to find support here, but I don't expect us to go any lower than this point if we do, I think that becomes a very nice buying opportunity on SEGI, but overall I do expect us to just trade in this pattern. Next stock of the day, looking at MJNA on the daily time frame. So MJNA has been moving very nicely on our 100-day SMA, you can see right here. And so as long as we are above this point, we will eventually break out past this major level of resistance. So this level of resistance goes back many years, and we've had a lot of issues breaking past this point. And so if we can break past this point, get a back test, and get above this 50 SMA, MJNA will be a runner, but until then we are just kind of going to trade sideways until we get to Judgment Day. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ALYI on the daily time frame. So ALYI got its back test yesterday here, and then we closed above this level of support, so that actually looked very nice on a technical level. You can see our MACD has now crossed over, and the trajectory looks very nice here. So I do expect to see a lot better days here in ALYI. The biggest level of resistance is going to be our 50 SMA. If we can break past this point and get on top of the 50, we should start to see a lot brighter days here in ALYI. Next stock of the day, we're looking at RDGL, up 2% today, and it's getting very close here. So you can see right now, if we get a green day tomorrow, we would be breaking past this level of resistance, but the biggest thing for us is going to be this 50 SMA. So if we break past this level and then we get on top of our 50 and we back test our 50, then this stock is going to be an extreme runner and anticipation of its FDA approval. But I do think we will play out the rest of this triangle, and we will go until about May 5th. So I do expect to see some more down days here in the next coming days for RDGL. Although we had this MACD crossover, which is bullish, this 50 is going to act as a major level of resistance. So if we can break past this and get above our 100-day SMA, it is going to look very nice on RDGL. And so you can see our 100-day SMA is only at 11 cents. So I will be patient on this one, because if we do get this above 11 cents, I think that becomes a very nice buying opportunity overall in RDGL. For a swing play, you guys already know how I like to play pharmaceutical plays. Overall, I think RDGL is going to be one of the exceptions, because I think this has a lot more potential than most pharmaceutical plays out there. Next stock of the day, we're looking at HYSR on the daily. So we had a strong day yesterday, just to lose 5% today. So yesterday we got rejected by our 50, and then we came right back down. So that was extremely bearish, and this crossover was extremely bearish. And so I do expect overall HYSR to continue to go down over the long term, eventually get a death cross and cross over our 200-day SMA. And then at some point down here, I think HYSR will be a buy. As of right now, I think this is going to be a stock that just kind of slowly drops down, and I don't want a stock like that in my portfolio. So I'm just letting y'all know with HYSR, I don't see too much upside potential here in the short term. Next stock of the day, looking at ACDC on the daily. So ACDC has just been trading sideways. We were flat today. We really need some news to jumpstart this one, otherwise we won't really get any movements. You can see we're trading below our 50 but above our 100 and our uptrend. So right now our next test is going to be to break past our 50 SMA, and so that is kind of when you would want to open a position here in ACDC. We had our gap to fill, we had our trade set up right here, which is absolutely beautiful, but then at that point we are just now trading sideways. And so the next opportunity to get into this stock, in my opinion, will be once we break past our 50, get a back test, and then we should start to see more movement to the upside. Next stock of the day, we're looking at STAF on the daily time frame. So STAF was only up 2% today, but we did kind of break past this level of resistance. I wouldn't call this a breakout. You can see it was on extremely low volume, so I do expect this to bleed down a little bit more. The one thing that I do want to mention is this looks extremely bearish. This is our death cross, broke right below our 100 and our 200-day SMA. And so overall, I do want to mention though, our SMAs have been hugging and coiling up very close together here in STAF. And so whenever you get something like that, anytime you can get price action above, it should lead to a large run up. But because we are below and we got this crossover, I do think STAF is going to have a lot more downside pressure. Overall, I think anytime on support is a buying opportunity. If you bought at 60 cents, it's at 67, you would have made some money. And so overall here with STAF, I still want to see if we can hold this level and start to make our movements up. But right here, this is what scares me. Next stock of the day, we're looking at HITIF on the daily time frame. So HITIF was up a strong 4%. Still just trading in our pattern right here. We should find some level of resistance probably tomorrow at this level, and so I do expect us to get rejected at this point and then carry out trading in this pattern. So nothing really crazy here, but the one thing that does get me excited is the fact that we are crossing over here. So the fact that we are crossing here, and if we get some good news and we start to move up and get above our 50 SMA, I think there's going to be a lot more upside here in high tide. So 2 levels of resistance to watch out for is right here and then our 50 SMA, and so if you can get above both, high tide should see very nice price action to the upside. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SNDL on the daily time frame. So SNDL was up 5% today. Very solid day. Our MACD has crossed over, so this is extremely bullish. We are still below our 100-day SMA, so we would love to see a test of this level first, which is around $1, and so I do expect us to find some resistance here. If we can break past this point, then our next level will be our uptrend, and this is where we want our price action. We want to be above this point, but our 50 SMA is starting to curl down, so if we get our price action above this point and above our 50 SMA, SNDL will be a buy and it should be a runner. There you guys have it. That was our quick little update on our explosive penny stock watch list. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.